Woo boy, we are live. I have my Nintendo Switch, I have my chocolate milk, and I'm ready to talk about video games for the next couple of hours, probably. Assuming that we find reasonable discussions here. So of course, I just wanted to make a general gaming stream because I enjoy them. I enjoy talking about video games. I enjoy doing what I do on the internet just for fun, no monetization required, and I just wanted to make a general gaming stream and just generally talk about everything that's going on with the Switch and everything that's come out lately and announced and things I'm looking forward to. Because again, I think there's a lot to talk about, like a lot. There's a lot more to the world of Nintendo than just the major first party releases, I think. There is just so much from all sorts of developers coming out in the next couple of months. I'm just like overloaded, like downright canceling, deleting games from my wish list, actually. I went ahead and did that last night. I just looked through my wish list of like 50 games and I was just like, no, I'm never, ever going to have the time or energy, like time to play all these. And considering how expensive that would be if I bought and played all of that, like I went through it and removed everything that I thought might be underwhelming, disappointing, or just all around, not as good as some of the better stuff I could be playing. Because I'm reaching to the point where I just have so many games on Switch, right? Like I would rather play the really, really good ones than waste time with mediocre ones, right? Like I don't want to be playing like the Undertales when I could be playing like say Yoshi's Crafted World or Dragon Mark for Death or even Pokemon Let's Go. Like there are just so many better games on the Switch. I just have no room, no interest in the mediocrity. And that's the thing. This is the thing about the Wii U. I really need to give the Wii U props here because when it came to the Wii U, I don't think I ever in my entire lifespan like bought that many bad indie games on it. There were a handful, like maybe 5 or 6, but the Wii U eShop was so good at the way it was laid out and like having the rating system like clearly visible and stuff like that. Like it was really easy to spot the shovelware and really easy to like filter it out and not buy it. And of course, there were like all those virtual console games. Again, I stand by that. I do believe that the Wii U eShop is far superior to the Switch shop, like just by pure virtue of like the strength of those Game Boy Advance games that I never played as a kid. Like Mega Man Battle Network alone is like better than most games I played on the Switch. Love Mega Man Battle Network. Yes, I was actually going to show off my Switch games. If you're not aware, if you're not a Switch owner, which considering you probably aren't, you can bring up a list of every game you've ever played on the Switch. So, see, tons and tons of games here. Uh, way too many to count. I'm still scrolling here. Yeah, I'm not sure how many games I have. I've bought several. This is all of them. Like I think it's well over 50 at this point. Probably there are a couple of demos here, so I don't know. But I just wanted to make a general stream talking about like what I've been playing recently and what I've pre-purchased and stuff like that. Because I've bought a lot of games in the past couple of years, right? Past couple of months. Like I've been buying like indie games pretty much every week, and that's a major reason why I've been cutting back because like some of the stuff that's on my wish list is just mediocre and not that good. I would just rather after Hollow Knight, I think my standards for indie games have like raised exponentially. Like things that used to cut it for me just don't anymore. Like I would rather just go back and play Hollow Knight than play something like say Unruly Heroes. Not that I'm knocking that at all, but I don't know. Like I think since I've been playing so many games, I'm kind of burnt out on them, if that makes sense. Like right now, I'm just chilling with Pokemon Let's Go. I've been playing that pretty consistently, trying to get through it. I beat Yoshi's Crafted World. Through an all-nighter. It was great. I stayed up all night and played it. And I'm now aware that it actually has like a bonus area with a secret final boss. So I'm very anxious. I'm actually very anxious to come back to it now. I think I'll have to before I really talk about it again. I don't think I've ever heard of a Nintendo game that has like a secret final boss. That's just something they don't really do. That's kind of interesting to me. I hope it's interesting. I hope it's good. The boss fights in that game were, generally speaking, way better than Woolly World. I was overall very, very impressed with them. Delicious. But yeah, the Switch, man, so overloaded with games. It's impossible for me to play them all. Like April is going to be insane, right? Like I was going to have an insane backlog before Cuphead was being announced, but yeah, April is bringing us Mortal Kombat 11, which is coming to Switch. I'm getting Dragon's Dogma. I'm very, very anxious to play that one because so many Itsuno fanboys love to hype that up as some like underappreciated classic, but I'm not really sure how true that is. Yeah, Wasteland 2 is coming. Physically, that's been out in the eShop for a while. Let's see. Yeah, Mortal Kombat 11, Dragon's Dogma, Final Fantasy X, and Final Fantasy 12. I have never played Final Fantasy 12 or Final Fantasy X-2, so that's going to be a big deal, I think. Yeah, and I've been having trouble finding the time to play all these Final Fantasy games. Like, I bought like all of them that got released, like World of Final Fantasy, Final Fantasy Chocobos, Everybody Edition, the Mystery Dungeon one. I bought Final Fantasy 7. I bought 9. I played a little bit of 9 last night. It was great. Love 9. But again, there's just so much, right? That what was I talking about? Oh yeah, Final Fantasy. Like Final Fantasy goes on. It just I have not been able to sit and play these games. I don't know why. I love them. I bought so many of them at once, and it just man, I gotta play 9, 7, Chocobo, like so many of them on Switch. And like again, I'm playing new ones that I've never played before. Like I never finished 9. I've never finished I never played Chocobo's Mystery Dungeon. I never played World of Final Fantasy. I never even heard of World of Final Fantasy until recently. And I'm really, really digging it. Like, really, really great. Yeah, really looking forward to Mortal Kombat 11. I could see that being one of my game of the years. I really loved Injustice and Mortal Kombat 9. And Mortal Kombat 10 was okay. I have not played Injustice 2 yet, so I'm not really sure what to think of that one. But yeah, I could see if they fix the problems with 10, namely with the story and just all around general content, right? Like it could be a great game, like a 10 out of 10 fighting game. Like 9 was fantastic, stellar. I will say, the one iffy thing I'm having is that I do not like them intentionally making the female characters ugly. That is the worst idea I've ever heard in my life. I hate that so much. Like, especially since 9 was like so gloriously sexualized. Like 9 did such a good job of like balancing this. 9 has like such a great personality, and like it's so willing to be like extreme in everything it does, and I really respect it for that That's one of the, like, its presentation is like pure top notch. Like the way you fuck each other up, like, you know, the tattered clothes, like everything about it is just looks cool, like exaggerated, but it's so cool, so interesting. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. 10, Mortal Kombat 10, I have not played 10 in so long. Like, I love the roster. I love, like, everything. I love it gameplay-wise. If anything, it seems about this. I think it's about the same gameplay-wise. I don't like the style system. Yeah, that's the thing that gets me. Like, I don't like the roster as much. It's mostly the story that I keep coming back to, the story mode that I keep, like, referring to when I'm light theme? What are you talking about? You can change your theme on the Switch. I wasn't aware you could do that. What, the white one? Is that what you mean? The background? Can I change that? I've never actually tried. Let's see. Themes. Okay, here we go. Yeah, basic white and basic black. That's all I have. Can I get more? Yeah, I haven't seen any themes for a Switch. I have no idea. My 3DS has like this really cool Metroid one. Actually, yeah. Oh my! I have not shown this off. I want to show this off real quick. Yeah, I really love Metroid. Okay, can you tell? Can you tell I really like Super Metroid? And yeah, I have this Metroid theme on my 3DS as well. The really neat Samus Aran one. Um, oh yeah, now's a great time to play Animal Crossing. Yeah, I never want to play Animal Crossing when I typically play games when I'm at home because like it's so late and there are no sharks on the island. But man, man, I better do it now. Launch while on stream. Yeah, that's the thing about Animal Crossing. Okay, like my 3DS right now. Like every time I want to play my 3DS, I have to play Animal Crossing because I have to play Animal. I have to finish New Leaf. You know, max out my house, do everything I want to do everything I want to do in the game before the new one comes out, right? But like, I want to get through it as soon as like I don't want to play other 3DS games. So like there are so many other there are so many other 3DS games that I really want to play. Like I have like Yokai Watch, I have Majora's Mask 3D, I have like a Fire Emblem Fates I was playing a while back. I haven't touched that in a while. It's just man, it's just a mess. Yeah, Animal Crossing is such a time sink right now for me. And like it doesn't feel like it's been that long since I last played, but like the game is telling me that like I'm not checking in enough, and it's just so frustrating. And there are weeds everywhere. I just man, ridiculous, ridiculous. Yeah, I'm surprised Animal Crossing doesn't have more of a reputation for being boring. I don't know. I've never heard anybody. I don't know. Like it just I could totally see why people would think that, but it's just I don't see that opinion very often, and it's like one of Nintendo's most popular series, like especially among like women. Like bitches love Animal Crossing. I'm telling you that right now. Just they love it. It's great. Bumpy go, could you? Yeah, I have not seen a lot of criticism toward AC. Like I could, I totally understand why, right? Like it's not for everyone, but like this is a series that sells like 10 million units. I am surprised there aren't like more vocal complaints about it. Like I don't know, the most common complaint I've heard is that there are no dating sim elements, but that's coming from furries. Nobody cares what they think. I don't really know Chicks go crazy for Tom Nook. Tom Nook, huh? I don't know. Everybody makes fun of Tom Nook. Everyone always brings up the, how he's like, how shady he is, right? Like he gives you this house and like puts you in debt, and then like has you works you to pay it, wants you to pay it off. It's just so weird, right? It's so bizarre. Like especially if you're like an adult, you like know that that's not how fucking home loans work. It's so shady. Um, yeah. What am I playing right now? I was going to talk about that on my Switch, but literally right now I am playing Animal Crossing. Right, I am fishing for sharks. I want to get max out my house and get everything there is to get in this game before the new one comes out. Because it's taken me like years to get this far. Like I know people who maxed out their houses in like the first couple of weeks, like the first weekend actually, because they use this exploit of just going to the island, fishing for sharks all day, and then like coming back. And then I think they were like able to manipulate it so that like the retail was selling stuff. So yes, Animal Crossing is great. Yeah. So yeah, Animal Crossing Switch. We still know next to nothing about it, but I'm hoping it makes lots of major improvements. Like I don't know, like more reason to come back, like more reason to like support your town and stuff like that. Yeah. Lots of people just stop playing, and then they like come back, and then they have to like do all of this work, and that's kind of, I don't know, that's kind of what makes it appealing, but it's just, yeah, it's kind of bizarre too. Yeah. I haven't checked my City Folk town in so long. I have no idea what that must look like at this point. I actually don't remember where I am in that game and what I was doing when I stopped playing, because I think I stopped playing around the time New Leaf came out, and I haven't played it since. And this game came out in like 2013, so it's been years, man. My City Folk town is probably like completely fucked up. Yeah, president of Animal Crossing. Yeah, that's what I came up with. Like having multiple towns that you can manage and sort of just work with all the villagers, right? Not just the ones that live in your town and like do stuff and just I don't know. I definitely think you'll be the mayor again. Yeah. They just need to like expand the whole mayor thing. Give it like some more gamey aspects. Like add some new mini games. That's what I like about New Leaf, is that it added more mini games, stuff like that. So it feels like you're doing more than just paying off your house. Yeah. It's a lot of. I'm definitely hyped for it. Like New Leaf is amazing. Like I'm still playing it years later. Actually, the main reason I didn't play it more when it first came out was like Rune Factory 4 came out around the same time, and that is actually one of my personal favorite 3DS games. I love Rune Factory 4. When that game comes out on Switch, I am definitely going to recommend everyone go buy it, because that game is like stellar. I love it. Like 10 out of 10 game for me. Probably my favorite game on 3DS. So great. I won't be rebuying it on Switch because I don't really see the purpose of it, but I'll definitely recommend it to other people. Amazing game. Love it. Bum bum ba-dum, bum 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 ba bum 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 ba bum bum bum. Yeah, I need to stop like playing Animal Crossing on stream because I keep getting distracted with like the sharks and just talking about this. Like I was gonna show off my Switch library and games I was playing, but I guess we could play Animal Crossing. I don't care. I don't care. Oh, that's annoying. Imagine still caring about Platinum Games after Devil May Cry 5 showed just how mediocre their game output really is. What a fucking joke. That just annoys me. It really does. Like, really? You really believe that? Really? So yeah, I'm not making that up when I'm when I complain about Devil May Cry fans. There are actual Devil May Cry fans who are obsessed with like trying to shit on Platinum Games and Kamiya and try to like make out Itsuno to be way better than he actually is, you know? And it's very disrespectful to like the original creators, and I overall don't really respect it. It's just so annoying. Yeah, everybody's getting Switches. Everybody's getting Switches. Everyone's playing them. Everybody's enjoying them. Yeah, I love my Switch. Like, I take it with me everywhere. It's great. Golf Story. Yeah, Golf Story is great. I would recommend that to anyone. Great game. Honestly, I was disappointed with Mario Tennis Aces after finishing Golf Story because Golf Story was just so much fun. Great game. And still a Nintendo Switch exclusive, I believe. I'm not exactly sure how that happened. Great indie exclusives. Nintendo has right now the best indie exclusives in the industry. I am shocked at the sheer amount of like quality shit they're getting, right? Like Silk Song, I believe, is coming out first on Nintendo Switch. Crypt of the Necrodancer 2, Cadence of Hyrule 2. I actually bought Crypt of the Necrodancer because of that. Like before that announcement, Cadence of Hyrule, I did not own Crypt of the Necrodancer. I knew nothing about it. I like saw it and thought it would look ridiculous. But when I saw that Zelda trailer, I was just like, okay, guess I better play Crypt of the Necrodancer. So I did it, and then like I ended up really enjoying it. Like I am actually really hooked on that game right now. It is so much fun. And I'm expecting the Zelda one to be even better because it looks like it has more, structure to it. That's like my main complaint. I don't like the randomized dungeons. I just don't. Like, I wish there was like more bigger differences there. A real sense of progression. That's just kind of Yeah. Like making sports games appeal to people who don't like the sport is like top tier video game design. Like that was me with like Tony Hawk's Pro Skaters. It's kind of me right now with like Hajime no Ippo. It's kind of me with like Punch Out, like that's interesting. That's good, like I really respect that kind of design. I hope they make like a tennis story or something. People keep bringing that up. I don't know why. I'm not sure how that would work, but I'm sure they could figure out something. Tennis story, that would be great. I don't know. Have the developers made anything else since then? I don't know. What are they working on now? Like, what is the development team even called? It's been a while since I played Golf Story. Like, I beat it a while back, and I haven't touched it since then. And it's such a great game, too. I would recommend it to anyone. Yeah, that's what I mean when I say that, like, I stopped buying every game on the Switch eShop that looks interesting, because like a lot of it can't compete with Golf Story. A lot of it can't compete with like Hollow Knight or all the other really good stuff. Like I would just rather play the really good indie games over and over again, rather than just buying and supporting mediocrity. Mario Power Tennis, that is the one I have not played yet. I was just at GameStop. I was just looking around, and I saw a copy, and I think I will get it. It'll be, oh, wow. Yeah, I bought Turok on the Switch. I actually have it right now. I was playing it a little bit. Yeah, see, I do have it. Yeah, see, Turok. Can you make that out? Yeah, see, Turok, you can make out the dinosaur, I think. Turok. Yeah, so I do have it, and I do really like it. I really do like it. And this is a series I never really heard of before. I've never played it before, but man, I really want to play it now. It's just like it's how I felt about GoldenEye, right? Like, this is a pure first-person action game. Like, it feels so much better to me than like modern first-person action games. Like, it feels like it has its own personality. It feels, really distinct. I just really, really like it. I want to play it more. I haven't gotten like super deep into it, but I did really, really enjoy what I played. Like, really, really great. N64 had so many great first-person games, man. It's so disappointing that all of them like went downhill. The shutdown of Rareware dying, Acclaim dying. It just, man, just an absolute shame, right? Absolute shame. I really miss Acclaim. Like, I'm just gonna throw it out there. Um, uh, I don't know. Like, I just kind of miss having these like third parties that actually supported Nintendo hardware, right? Like, it just they're just all gone now. They're all gone, and it's so disappointing. And I don't know, like Mortal Kombat's coming back. That's nice, but I'm just not optimistic that they're going to stay there or like really give Nintendo the support it deserves. That's just so. Deathmark. Yeah, I saw that on the GameStop shelf, but I don't know anything about it. Is it good? Like, I've played some really bad horror games on Switch. Like, there are so many bad ones. Like, I was playing something like called Hollow the other night. I had to delete it within like a couple of minutes because it was just so boring. Doom Eternal is coming to Switch. Yeah. Really looking forward to that. Hang on, do I have more chocolate milk? I think I do. Yeah, so I'm not a huge fan of Doom 2016, but it's reasonably fun. So yeah, I'm kind of optimistic that the sequel will be good, will be interesting, and we'll have to see, how it runs, how it turns out. Like, I'm sure it'll run great on Switch. There's no doubt in my mind about that. Um, yeah, I'm not sure how much longer the pretendos can like go on about like the Switch not being powerful enough to run third-party games, because that clearly is not true, considering like all the support we've been getting, and like the games that end up skipping Switch are all shit that we know could run on it. Like, oh yeah, Samurai Shodown 6 was confirmed to come out to Switch. I think. I think somebody brought that up. I can't remember if that's confirmed or not, but yeah, it's hard for me to be hyped for Bayonetta 3 at this point in time because we still haven't seen anything about it. Like, I don't know. Like, when I got hyped up for Bayonetta 2, I thought it was going to be like literally the best thing ever. With Nintendo working on it and Platinum Games having like the fundamentals down, like I was expecting something as good as the original, but sadly it fell way short of the mark. So we're gonna have to see just how well it turns out. But Astral Chain looks great though. Really looking forward to that. Yeah, I fully expect Astral Chain to be the best Platinum Games game in quite some time. Like, maybe not as good as the Wonderful 101. Like, again, I don't really care for Cyberpunk. I've mentioned this before, but yeah, definitely unique enough to be interesting. Definitely unique enough to talk about. Censorship? What? They censored a scene? Ah. The ESRB has that kind of power? Like, what? Okay, so Yeah, Animal Crossing is pretty time consuming, really time consuming. I'm not sure how much time I put on this. It's probably like over 100 hours, probably. Really, really time consuming. But again, that's kind of the appeal of it. You're supposed to come back and play it every day. Um, oh, Cyberpunk 2077. Uh, I'm not sure. I was talking about Astral Chain, which is a cyberpunk game, which, by the way, looks way better than Cyberpunk 2077. Yeah, but Cyberpunk 2077 has to be, to me, one of the biggest jokes in AAA gaming, because this is a thing that was announced since like what, 2012, and we're only just now seeing footage from it, and yet people are like acting like it's going to be the greatest thing ever. Like, I think CD Projekt Red is like the new BioWare. Like, now that BioWare has like fallen off a cliff and become completely irrelevant, people have like latched on to this like Polish studio to try and like promote them as these like amazing RPG developers when they really aren't worth shit. Yeah, I'm not impressed with what I've seen from like The Witcher 3 or Cyberpunk 2077. And The Witcher 3 is probably going to come to Switch, by the way. I strongly suspect it's going to happen in the next couple of years or so. But like, man, I don't know. Like, I'm just so sick. I mentioned this in the video the other. I am just so sick of mediocre third-party games being hyped up. Like, just I don't know. It just it's the worst. I hate it. Witcher 3 better than Breath of No. I can tell you right now, no. That's not even worth like talking about or like arguing over because it just isn't true. Online shooter you're gonna have to be more specific. Overwatch. Oh yeah. Don't even get me started on Overwatch. Like, Overwatch is like the Undertale of AAA games. Like, shilled by so many people as being this like amazing release, and yet somehow like nobody seems to actually talk about the actual game. Like, you'll get all these people, right? Like, talking about like, ooh, look at all these LGBT people we have on the character roster. Isn't that like progressive? Aren't we great? I just I don't. I will play The Witcher 3 when it comes out on Switch. I will get into more specifics as to why it's bad when it actually comes out on my console of choice. And I will explain why Breath of the Wild is better then. But I can tell you now that it's not good. I can tell you that much. Like, I won't be able to get specific until I actually play it, but I know that like it's highly, highly overrated because like it's the same thing we saw with Mass Effect, right? Where people made it out to be like some big deal, a bigger deal than it actually was. Like, your choices matter, but they don't. And that was pretty obvious since like the first game. I don't understand why people keep falling for the bullshit and keep believing that like The Witcher 3 is like a game of the year contender. Like, man. Yeah, Overwatch was so frustrating. Like, it won so many awards. People were like hyping it up so much, but like it really did feel like it was just because it was a new Blizzard game, a new Blizzard IP. And I don't know, like, Blizzard fans bother me. Like, I am shocked that like people are willing to just take this whole Diablo Immortal thing and like are completely willing to believe that Blizzard might be working on Diablo 4. No, they aren't. I can guarantee you they're not. And even if they were, it's not going to be good. Just look at like Diablo 3. I have played Diablo 3, by the way, so I can bitch about that one. Like, not a fun game at all. Don't like it. Don't care for it. I just. Oh yeah, the Overwatch porn. I didn't even get started. It felt like when Overwatch was first announced, it felt like the only thing that anybody was talking about was the porn. Like you would see shit like the whole parodies of this whole Tracer thing, where like she would there was that picture of her like caressing some woman's ass. I love how it was Tracer, by the way, the actual fucking lesbian. Like it makes me think that like it was an intentional marketing decision on Blizzard's part to make all this porn of the characters and make it so easy to rip the models and like have people do shit with them. I just hate it so much. Yeah, Blizzard is not shit. Like I have no respect for Blizzard, and yet like the fanboys constantly hype up their shit. I'm sure they're like BioWare. I'm sure the shit they made in the '90s was good. I'm sure that like Diablo 2 is great. I love StarCraft. I would love to play the original Warcraft games. Like I would love to have the chance to play classic WoW. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll do a play WoW Classic just so I can experience that and just see what that's like and experience the biggest MMO in history, because that is something I'm kind of interested in doing, right? But yeah, like I don't know, man. Like the new shit, it's like any other third-party studio. Like they are just not putting out enough quality content to justify the amount of hype they get. Like I how do they have like an entire convention every year? Like what do they do? Like what do they announce? Like were people seriously expecting like a Diablo announcement? Like last time oh yeah, Warcraft 3 is getting a remaster. If that comes out on Switch, I will get it. I am anxious to play some Warcraft. Xenoblade Chronicles. Okay, no. Xenoblade Chronicles is probably the single most overrated first-party Nintendo game I've ever played in my life. I cannot think of any other game that Nintendo has ever produced that has like over a 90 on Metacritic that I hate more than that one. That one is like a complete waste of time. I hate it so much. I've made entire hour-long videos bitching about that while I was like finishing it. It was just so frustrating. I hate it so much. Definitely the worst. Okay, and I don't know. Like I don't understand the appeal. I don't understand why so many people like swear by it as like literally one of the best Nintendo games ever made when it's not even close. It's not even good. Like Batten Kaitos is better. I would say even Golden Sun is better. Pokemon is certainly better. Like I don't understand why so many people declare it to be their favorite Nintendo game. It's just so bizarre. Yeah, I am very excited for Dragon Quest XI. Definitely one of the major third-party games I'm excited for most on the Switch. I love Dragon Quest. I've been getting into the series for the past couple of years. I'm hoping that we get other ports of other Dragon Quest games later on down the line. But right now, I'll settle for like I'll just sit tight and wait for Dragon Quest XI. I'm really looking forward to that. But yeah, Xenoblade Chronicles is like, why? And like the annoying thing is that like we're gonna keep seeing Shulk going forward because like he's such a unique character in Smash. I know so many people who like played Xenoblade Chronicles because of Shulk being in Smash Bros. Right, and they came away like, really, that was it, really, and I don't know. Like I think that's going to be like a more common sentiment going forward. Like I don't find Shulk to be that interesting or protagonist at all. I actually kind of hate him. He's actually probably my least favorite JRPG hero in history. Like my personal most hated JRPG protagonist. I fucking cannot stand Shulk and his like pseudo intellectualism. I just cannot stand it. It is the worst. Yeah, I decided again. I put like 80 hours into that game, so like I have more than enough reason to bitch. But yeah, definitely not impressed with that one. And like even the fans will tell you that like shit like the Bacanus at the end is like the worst thing ever. It's like this 15-hour long dungeon where you just go through this like corridor and like press switches, and it's just like really, really, it's the worst. Ubisoft is what. And yeah, I haven't played enough Ubisoft to really, like again, I haven't played enough every third party game to come out. Like I don't know what my least favorite third party publisher is. I kind of hate all of them. You know, like I'll say that like the Japanese ones are blatantly superior in every single way, but yeah, I couldn't tell you what my least favorite developer is. They all like make shit I don't like. Like I don't like. I didn't like Rayman Origins, but I could see myself really liking Rayman 2, and I like Legends just fine. So we're gonna have to see. Like again, we'll have to see. As I play more and more of their games. Yeah. I don't know. Mario Rabbids Kingdom Battle was fine. I like that. I did not like Starlink though. Yeah, it's so hard to pin down my least favorite company from like companies that I never really bought stuff from begin with. Like, do I hate Activision? Do I hate EA? I don't know. Like, I would say Activision because of like all the bullshit they put me through with like Call of Duty and stuff like that. Uh, but I don't know. I wouldn't say always. Like they sometimes have a little bit. They sometimes do something reasonably well. Like Rayman 2 generally has a pretty loyal fan base. But yeah, I would say yeah. I'm not a fan of Ubisoft either. I just don't think it's the absolute worst publisher in history. Like that, they have some pretty stiff competition there. Believe me. No. Xenoblade has so many issues. I can't even like list them all. Like, please refer to my video where like I bitched about it, okay? Where I spent that month after finishing Breath of the Wild for the first time, like playing through Xenoblade Chronicles and finishing it. Just because like I was on such a high from Breath of the Wild, I just like popped Xenoblade back in, started playing it after 3 years of not touching it, and then like finished it and was just like, that was the absolute worst. Like I hated Xenoblade, like the first half of it, the good half, and then like the second half was just like downright atrocious. Like I am still mad about that game. It's just so bad. So bad. Yeah, as much as I don't like Xenoblade Chronicles 2 or X, I will say they're way better than the original. Like they do seem to like be fixing them and like trying to correct all the problems, but it's just they're gonna have to fix the combat, man. They're gonna have to fix like everything about it. They're gonna need to get some new writers. They're going to need to like get away from the bullshit that's holding them back, and they just have not done that yet. I would prefer them to make a completely new IP at this point because I'm sick of these like nonstop Xenoblade games. I straight up will not be buying the next one. Like I still have not bought the Golden Country, and I have no intention of doing so. PSN made more money than Nintendo. That okay. So what you have to understand about that is that you How does that work again? I think what that is that there are services that you can download through PSN that are like very microtransaction heavy. That include like services like Netflix and stuff like that that have their own subscription fees that are processed through PSN or something like that. That's kind of I don't know. It's stuff like that. That's like really making PSN look at exorbitantly profitable when it's not really that big of a deal. I mean, they're certainly not selling games. I don't know. Yeah, PSN making money is certainly not due to them selling games, because you can kind of tell just by looking at the eShop, right, that the vast majority of digital only games are like doing the best on Switch. Like pretty much any indie developer will tell you that. Like the Hollow Knight devs confirmed it. I think the who else confirmed it? I know the Hollow Knight devs confirmed it. I know who was it? Shovel Knight. I want to say Shovel Knight. And who else confirmed it? I don't recall. There were so many. Like there were so many indie games early on that were like going on, really praising the Switch for like having such a great audience for indie games. And I think for smaller digital games, and I think that's led the Switch to becoming the dominant force when it comes to these kind of small downloadable games. Like stuff like Wargroove is doing extraordinarily well on Switch, even though it's available on other platforms. Like Stardew Valley has been pretty consistently on the bestsellers page since it came out like 2 years ago, I think. That game is doing extraordinarily well. Oh yeah, Dead Cells. Dead Cells confirmed that like the Switch version outsold the PS4 one to like 8-1 or something like that. Something ridiculous. I actually just bought Dead Cells and I played it a little bit. I'm not sure what I think of it. Like I had a little bit of fun, but I think I'm just kind of burnt out. I'm just gonna have to like take a break from gaming for a while. I think play an RPG or something, like just do something else for a while. Go outside for once. Yeah, and there are like so many Nintendo Switch games already that have like sold over 10 million copies, right? Like Mario Kart 8, like I know Breath of the Wild did, I know Pokemon Let's Go did, I know Mario Odyssey did. Like that, there are just so many highly successful Switch games already, like so much more successful than even the most popular PS4 games, right? I think at this point, the only major PS4 third-party platform exclusive that really, really does outsell Nintendo games is Grand Theft Auto, and that is something that has no reason to not come to Switch, right? Same with Call of Duty. Like those two games, those two franchises have no reason to stay away from Nintendo hardware. It's just kind of ridiculous, right? Bum 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 ba bum. So yeah, once PlayStation loses its third parties to like stuff like Google Stadia and the new upcoming gaming platforms, right? Like they are going to lose all of their impact. Like everything they have going for them, like that's going to be it. They just will not be able to remain competitive. They just can't. Like without those huge IPs, they can't sell shit. They just can't. Yeah, no DMC, no Division, and no Anthem. Are you implying that's a bad thing? Like, I don't want to waste my time with any of that shit. Just come on. Yeah. DMC. I really want to talk about DMC for a moment here because, yeah. The more I see footage of that shit, like the more I realize that like it's complete garbage. Like it looks so bad. Like it looks incredibly simplistic, and I don't like the camera work. I don't like the combat. I don't like the boss fights. Like I did not like again. I played the demo of it, so I know what I'm talking about. Like everything about it looks atrocious, right? I just yeah. People always try to say that like, oh, Grand Theft Auto and Call of Duty can't run on Switch. Yes, they can. There's no debating that. Yes, they can. Like every game should be able to run on Nintendo Switch. If it can't run on Switch, the developers are not putting in enough effort to make the Switch version happen, and they need to be held accountable for that. Like it's their problem, not Nintendo's, and they kind of need to understand that. Yeah, I'm really hoping that like Google Stadia is like the major nail in the coffin when it comes to like third parties. Like I expect them to go all in, try to like break free from consoles, and then like have it all blow up in their face and like have all sorts of problems they didn't see coming, just because they wanted to like avoid piracy. It's going to be great. I'm really looking forward to it. Yeah, the landscape of gaming is changing. It already kind of has, but like stuff like Fortnite, stuff like Pokemon Go, stuff like that, right? Yeah, the normies, the casuals, they sort of have like phones now, and we're reaching the point where stuff like Fortnite is kind of replacing Call of Duty. It is a free online multiplayer game that like it's so accessible that like anyone can play it, right? And that's going to take away a lot of the appeal that other online multiplayer shooters have, right? And then you have stuff like the microtransaction system. So they're always the developers are always making money, and it's just yeah, I actually I was watching a good chunk of that 24-hour Nick Rekieta stream, and he had the Earthworm Jim creator on for like a good chunk of it. I had never heard him speak before, and he is the most interesting fucking guy. Like I am not an Earthworm Jim fan. I've never played it, but this guy is like one really cool, right? He knows like all this shit about like the industry and about like and is involved with like all this stuff and like has his own YouTube channel. Like really cool guy. I really need to subscribe to him, by the way. And he was talking about like why he hates Fortnite and why he hates like the microtransaction model. But like he said that like yeah, this seems to be the future of gaming since people seem to respond to this. It's like people seem to respond to paying these like incremental amounts perpetually, and that's better for the businesses. That's better for like it makes more money for them. Like and the customers seem to prefer to do it. So yeah. It'll be kind of interesting to see just what lengths people will go to. Just what exactly is going to happen when it comes to this whole changes in technology thing. Like the thing with this is like I think this no matter what happens, PlayStation's going to be fucked. Like they can't do streaming. Like that fell flat on its face. Like they won't be able to compete with Google or Microsoft in that front, and they won't be able to continue supporting their like a physical media because that's going to be going increasingly out of style. Like their first party games are like already kind of a joke. There's just so much, so much that's wrong with them. Like I think it will catch up to them. Like when the industry does change and people move past what PlayStation has been selling for the past couple of years, like mature games for mature gamers, essentially. Once people get sick of that, like that's going to be it for them, I think. Oh, fuck. I keep losing my sharks. Ah, damn. Okay. So yeah, we're not entirely sure what's going to happen. It's going to be a major technological shift, I think. More focus on digital downloads, certainly.
That's already kind of happened. I don't know. People were talking about diskless consoles. I'm not sure how probable that is. Game streaming, I think, is still years away. I'm not sure why Google is trying to like do their thing now. It just feels like it's not going to pan out well to me. Too early. It's just too early. Yeah, I do not care for like the whole I only play mature games for mature gamer sort of mindset. It's just kind of laughable to me. So I kind of hate Sony for sort of a I do blame Sony and Microsoft for sort of perpetuating that demographic and really supporting it and going after like Wii owners back in the day. It just I don't know. I think it's died down a lot with the rise of the Switch, but I still do see people like bring it up when they're talking about why they're not interested in the Switch because like it only has kiddie games for children. It's just ridiculous. PS5, PS5 is going to be such a joke. Like I don't even need to like, man, PS5 is going to be a disaster, I think. Like much like how PS4, well, here's the thing about PS4. PS4 sold itself on the hype of greatness. Like eventually you were going to get greatness and you never really got that. Like you were told to like buy this new pro model in order to get the cutting edge visuals of like slightly higher resolutions and I don't see people continuing to do this. Like I just don't. Like how much longer are people going to be exploited for nothing? Like I don't see a lot of these people really talk about a lot of really great PS4 games. Like we're still 4 years later and like you still have people like Jim Sterling trying to like pretend that Bloodborne is like literally his favorite game ever because like there's been nothing else on the PS4 in that entire span of time. It's just so ridiculous. Yeah, I would really like light gun games to come back. Like I love a lot of them on Wii, like some of the railgun games, those are great. I just wish yeah, that's a genre that desperately needs to come back, I think. Um, they need to balance it differently, like compared to how they would do it in the arcade. But yeah, I would love to see them come back. They're fun games. Yeah, PS4 and Xbox One are just yeah. There's nothing about them that gives them any kind of identity. They're just sort of like exactly what they're supposed to be. Like they don't experiment with anything new. They don't try anything different. Like it's just we have to keep our image up and we have to protect our brand and that's it. They don't try to like really push the envelope, and I think that's going to lead to stagnation. Like that's the thing with PlayStation. I think is that they are beginning to stagnate and they have no idea how to adapt to like the changing market. Like they are so angry at the Nintendo Switch doing well. You can kind of tell. Bloodborne better than Persona 5 really should have been on Switch already. Like, really, they should have just gone ahead and announced it the instant Joker was in Smash. I don't know why they're holding off on it.
I don't know why they're pulling all this bullshit with like announcing Joker and then like announcing another expanded PS4 version that nobody cares about and not announcing what the thing that everybody wants to see, which is like the Switch version. I guarantee you, Japanese audiences have demanded Persona 5 to make the jump to Switch because there's just no reason for it not to be. Like, same with like Yakuza and like any of the other third-party games. Like, there is no reason for them to not be on Switch. No reason at all. And yet the developers are still like desperately trying to defend it. And I just don't care for it. It's the worst. Crazy on you. Okay. I cannot believe I've been streaming for an hour. Wow. Bum, 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 bum. Have I been playing Animal Crossing this entire time? Yeah, no wonder I don't do this more often. It takes too fucking long. It takes way too long. Let's see here. Bum, 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 bum. Yeah. Persona 5 appeals to normies? Really? I can't imagine anything Persona related can appeal to normies in like any fashion. Like you can, I don't know, like that to me is like something. Even I kind of make fun of Persona a little bit, and I am not a normie by any stretch of the imagination. I cannot imagine normies, getting into Persona. That's just bizarre to me. I have heard Persona 4 is better, but again, I haven't played either, so I'm not really sure. Like Persona 4 is one of those games that like some people think is like the best game ever made, though, right? So maybe that's sort of it. I don't know. Like again, I need to get back into Persona 4. Like I need to. I really enjoyed what I played of it, but it's funny you bring up Red Dead Redemption 2 because we saw a leaked Target listing that listed Red Dead 2 for the Switch. So it might actually be happening. And when that does, that's going to like forever destroy this narrative that like Switch can't run these kind of games because it totally can. Like everybody keeps trying to make up excuses as to why it can't, but at the end of the day, it totally can. I don't know, like people still pretend that like Doom 2016 doesn't run well on Switch. It's just kind of it's just kind of laughable. Yeah, my throat kind of hurts. I need a drink of water. Excuse me? I am so hooked on Animal Crossing. This stream was supposed to be about my Switch library and what I've been playing, but Okay, we'll get to that after I finish catching all these sharks, doing my sharking for the day. Yeah. It's on the okay. The reason third parties don't put games on Switch has nothing to do with the Switch hardware. It has everything to do with like the third parties. They are not putting in the work to optimize it for Switch hardware. So again, this kind of shows like take Spyro Remastered. There was no reason for that game not to come out day one for Switch, right? But it didn't inexplicably too. And as we've learned since Crash Insane Trilogy was announced for Switch, like the only reason that game came out was because someone on the team was a huge fan of the Switch and on his own initiative got the Switch version up and running. So these companies straight up try to pretend that the Nintendo console doesn't exist. I can't understand why that is. Like, they really want Nintendo to go out of business. They really want Nintendo to go third party. Like, those rumors you always hear about how Nintendo is going to like go third party any day now because they're just doing so poorly. Like, I guarantee you, it's the industry trying to push that narrative. They really, really want that to happen. And I just, man, I hate it so much. I don't know. Like, I have not seen a Nintendo article in quite some time. I don't know what Michael Pachter is doing right now. I don't know what like Colin Moriarty is doing right now. I don't know what any of these people are doing. Like Colin Moriarty, he's still like a major PlayStation shill. Like even now that he's like not a fucking game journalist, like he still feels the need to like compulsively defend PlayStation and like shit on Nintendo. It's like the most bizarre fucking thing I've ever seen in my life. But he was like blacklisted from the gaming industry because like he's I believe a libertarian and is like very anti-SJW. So like of course that doesn't fly with like the SJW game industry. So like he's been kicked from funny games and kind of does his own thing. But he still goes on rants occasionally about Nintendo. I think I have a tweet from him on my computer. Let's read this aloud. Yeah, Colin Moriarty tweets. Oh no, that's just his following of wait. Shit. I'm sure we can find something interesting. Colin Moriarty, Nintendo. As a piece of hardware, Nintendo Switch seems awesome. I just wish Nintendo would nail, well, everything else. Okay. Oh, this is it. Wait, the Switch has only sold 2 million units in the US since it launched, and that's considered successful? The industry is a-changing. People have tweeted me how wrong I was about Switch, so I was expecting to see PS4 level numbers, or even 1/2 or 1/4 PS4 numbers. Yeah, just so ridiculous. I hate him so much. He's the worst. Like, don't try to like tell me that there aren't like PlayStation fanboys in the industry. There are. They're like infested with them. I just hate him so much. Okay. Again, they need to be called out on their shit. Yeah, no matter where they may lurk, right? We need to know who these people are, what they say, how they handle situations. It's just, Yeah, I wonder what that motherfucker is saying now. That Nintendo Switch has sold something like, is it 32 million? Like pretty high. That seems a little bit high to me. It's pretty high, like really, really high. Oh, Reset Era. Reset Era
is a complete wait. Oh, what do you mean a good example? A good example of what? How corrupt the gaming industry is? Like the game journalism industry is? Okay, here's the thing about Reset Era is that like everyone seems to be fixated. It's the Gamergate problem. Everyone is fixated on like the social justice aspect, but they don't really focus on like the actual game journalism aspect, like how they actually cover games and like what is and isn't could be considered illicit, right? It just I don't know. That's the thing that really bothered me about Gamergate. You know, they just did not cover the actual journalism aspect enough, and that was partly due to like the amateurness of it all. Like nobody professional in the industry was on our side. We were getting I don't want to say we got fucked. We kind of fucked them. Like but they were able to like pretend. It's sort of like how Kickbit kind of like is ignoring the incoming lawsuit and how fucked everyone is. They were just able to like sort of brush the issue under the rug, right? And we weren't able to escalate that past where it should have been. Like this Gamergate really should have erupted into like a very serious look into how corrupt the game journalism industry actually is and how it's basically a marketing wing for these big AAA companies. And yet nobody really addressed that. It was entirely about how like Zoe Quinn fucked some guy. Like that was an issue, don't get me wrong. Like Zoe Quinn's a complete cunt. Like I hate the feminism. I hate all those people. I hate the SJWs, but man, like that was not the issue. Like the issue is that you know the journalists were allowed to do this to begin with. Like they didn't seem there were no repercussions. There was no like standards. They were just doing all of this shit. They still do all of this shit. It's just really, really disgusting. I hate it. I don't know. And you have people like Laura Kate Dale working in the industry. It's just, I hate it so much. So corrupt. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what Reset Era does, how relevant they are, because I don't know. They ban people all the time. Like how have they stayed relevant? Like who is joining that forum? Like they are the biggest hug box on the internet, right? Like they ban people for doing pretty much anything the mods don't like. It's ridiculous. I don't care for it at all. Like that's what I know about Reset Era. Like I have not really looked at that website because I knew what it was going to devolve into before it was even made. Really, it was just going to be like a worse version of NeoGAF, and that's exactly what happened. I'm not sure how the Nintendo hate is over there. If anything, I think they're pretty pro Nintendo. I think that might be because of the Switch doing well, though. We're gonna have to see where that angle goes. But yeah, I'm not impressed with Reset Era. They are the worst, the absolute worst, right? Jim Sterling. Like Jim Sterling, man, I don't know. It's hard to believe, man. It's been like 5 years since Gamergate. I haven't watched a single video of his since then. I watched his like Sekiro video for some reason, and I don't know, like something about him seems like it's been getting worse, and I don't know what it is. I think it is this whole social justice disorder that like it seems that once you become a social justice warrior, you have this like you get this weird disorder, right, where people start to really fucking hate you because of like your attitude and how you go about things. I don't know. Like I did not hate him. I don't think I had much. Oh no. I didn't like him even back in the day, but I don't know. Now it's gotten worse. I think now it's like now he's like even more. He's even worse than he was before, if that makes any sense. Again, I don't watch his content, so I can't really talk about him in depth.
I don't like how he gave Laura Kate Dale a platform, though. That was kind of annoying. Ridiculous. Yeah, Jim Sterling. There have been so many times where he's given like a bad score to a Nintendo game for like no reason, right? Like that Kid Icarus Uprising review comes to mind, right? Where he said it had like a bad. He said he said it was like completely unplayable or something like that because of the controls. He was like a major reason for that meme, right? That the controls made that game unplayable. Not true. Not true at all. And I don't know. Like it's the same. It was like the proto Star Fox Zero, right? It was just so ridiculous. Like now he's bitching about like Sekiro being too hard or something. I don't know. I don't know. Game journalists are like complete scum. Water. Yeah, just looking at Sekiro, to me, that looks like something that really should have come out on Nintendo Switch. Like, there's really no reason for it. Like, it doesn't look that intense of a game. And, like, you can't say it can't run on Switch. I just really annoying. I'm just not gonna buy it. But whatever. Whew.
Yeah, I think I'm almost done with hunting all these sharks.
Okay. I mean, I have an entire box full of them, so I might as well just I just might as well just call it quits. And finally start talking about my Nintendo Switch, which is what we were supposed to be doing. Oh, fuck. Bow, 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 bow. I don't know. Maybe the new Animal Crossing will have you run your own business. That would be kind of nice. I think, like owning your own store, competing with Tom Nook, putting him out of business, buying him out. That would be great. No, just kidding. That would never. I'd feel bad for him then, because I hate buyouts. They're just the worst. Bum, bum. A Trump character? Wait, what? What do you mean? What do you mean by that? Bum, bum. What else is there to talk about? I probably should look at gaming news. I think it's going to be a while before I get to my Switch and start talking about that. Let's see, Famitsu's favorite games of all time. Okay, how embarrassing is this? Is this like going to be embarrassing like the IGN list is? 100 Zelda Majora's Mask. Better than IGN's 100, where it's like something stupid and embarrassing. 99 Shiren the Wanderer. I don't know what that is. Witcher 3 Wild Majora's Mask is better than The Witcher 3. Fuck you. Fuck you. Okay, now I'm angry. Yeah, Majora's Mask is a cult classic. Fuck you. Like, I don't know. Here's the thing with this list, though. Like, you don't want the entire thing to be like filled up with Mario and Zelda games, but there are just so many of them at this point. It just, man, there is going to be a point where these lists are entirely made up of them. So, yeah, IGN does not play games. Their top 100 lists are terrible. This is the Famitsu one. 97 Super Smash Bros. Melee. Okay. I would say that should be higher, but whatever. 96 Hatsune Miku Project Diva Arcade. I haven't played that one, but I'm going to imagine that's bullshit. Kowloon Yuma Gakengi. I don't fucking know what that is. Arc the Lad 2. I have heard that. I have heard of that, but whatever. That's 94. 93 is Final Fantasy 8. Fuck off with your bullshit. Don't make me go full Spoonie. Don't make me bring up that entire Spoonie retrospective where he explains in great detail as to everything that is wrong with that fucking game, okay? Final Fantasy VIII doesn't belong anywhere near a top 100 games of all time list. Like, just unfucking believable. I hate Final Fantasy VIII, if you haven't noticed. It is the worst. The absolute worst. I just, man, makes me angry just seeing it on the list. Plus, it never came out for Nintendo Switch. So, yeah, I hate it even more because of that. But anyway. Yeah, we might see some more Final Fantasy VIII later this year. Like, it's the 20th anniversary, I think. So, yeah, Final Fantasy VIII is 93. 92 is Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. The first one? The third one better be further down this list. That's all I can say. Lufia, 91. 90 Valkyria Profile. Is that like Chronicles? What is that? Shiren the Wanderer 2, Tengai Mikayo 2, Manjaru. Well, it's hard to be angry when you don't know what these things are. Sekien Densaru 3. I-86 Final Fantasy Tactics. Yeah, I need to play Tactics. I need to finish the original Tactics. Like, I see it on best of lists all the time, but like I just could not get into it. Like, people always bring up the plot, but I don't know. Like, I want to play the game myself just to see how good the plot actually is. I don't know. Like, I can't imagine it being like the best thing ever. You know, like people say it is. Like the original release had like translation issues, didn't it? I don't know. Like, I wasn't super impressed when I last played it, but I do want to give it one last shot before I like finally talk about whether or not it's bullshit or not. 85 Sonic Unleashed. Are you kidding? Isn't that the one where he turns into a fucking werewolf? The one that like everyone makes fun of, like even John Carpenter makes fun of that. Like, really? Sonic Unleashed. Sonic fanboys spamming the polls. I think that's a problem with these top 100 lists, right? Is that like the fanboys of anything are going to like, vote for their favorite thing at the expense of like other better games. Like more experienced people will like vote for their favorites, while like the fanboys will vote for like everything for every quality, every category, right? Like, I would not be surprised if Undertale found its way on here for that reason. That's how it won the GameFAQs poll. Let's see. Fantasy Star Online. Hang on, let me check the chat. Yeah, it does say. Yeah, it does say Sonic Unleashed. I will say it's on Sonic Unleashed. This is remember, this is the Famitsu favorite games of all time. This is the official Famitsu power rankings here. Phantasy Star Online is 84. 83 is Shadow of the Colossus. Yeah, not a bad choice. Shadow of the Colossus is absolutely something I would put on my top 100 list. Like, I need to put together my top 100 list. One of my like all-time goals is like compile a list of like the objective best games of all time. You know, make a really good detailed one while explaining like why every game is so great, instead of these like generic lists that just sort of like, you know, throw stuff on there and don't really justify it in any way. Like, I would love to do that. That would be great. Yeah, Shadow of the Colossus is definitely something I would put on there. I love Shadow of the Colossus. It's great. Okay, below that, 82 is Final Fantasy IV. Probably not a bad choice. That's the game that established a lot of these JRPG cliches. So I could totally see why that's on there. Shadow Hearts 2. Never played that one. 80 is Kirby Air Ride. I have not played Kirby Air Ride yet, but I've heard it's really good. I would love to get a hold of it. It's definitely one of the GameCube games I'm keeping an eye out for. I was actually holding out for a re-release for a really long time, but I don't think that's going to happen. And I think I'm just going to have to go bite the bullet and buy, an old copy for like $40 because the GameCube games these days, man, they're getting really, really expensive. So many people want these first-party classics. Like, I've seen Super Smash Bros. Melee going for like $80. It's just in stores too, so it's just kind of ridiculous. People will pay for it. 79 is Dragon Quest II. Probably well deserved. That's the one that really established the series, right? 78 is MAG. I don't know what that is. 77 is Romancing Saga 2. Really? I just bought that on my Switch. I had no idea that was considered such a well-respected game. I thought it was like some niche fringe release, but no, I bought it on sale on my Switch a while back. I have not touched it yet, but yeah, I'm definitely going to go play it now after this. Definitely going to get my thoughts on that soon. I did not know that was such a well-regarded game. All right, going on back. Okay. Steins Gate is 76. Is that based off an anime? I'm not sure. 75, Saga Frontier. 74, Bloodborne. 73, Animal Crossing New Leaf. The game I'm playing right now is better than the only game on PS4. So eat it, Sony fanboys. Eat it. Flip Wars. Is that like I heard that, like, isn't that like a Wii U game, a downloadable game where you like flip the panels? I heard that was surprisingly really good or something, but I never played it. Unless I'm thinking of something else. Okay, back to the top 100 list. What else is on here? 72 Wizardry. I don't. That's like a classic. It's like a really old shit. 71 Metal Gear Solid V 5. I'm gonna say no. 70 Metal Gear Solid 3. Did they just put 5 on there and then they were like, oh shit, we gotta squeeze 3 on there, and then they put 3. 3 is higher than 5. That's good enough for me. As long as 2 isn't higher than 3, that's good. Like, I guess I could buy the original being better than 3. Like, it's really up to your preference, I think. I personally love 3. I think it's like one of my all-time favorite games, but yeah, well, 5 doesn't belong on there, I think. 3 is fine. Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. Which one? The original? It's usually like the second one that people hype up as being like the best game ever. 68, The Legend of Zelda. Well deserved. I think it should be higher. 67, Poppin' Music. 66, Ico. Ico. What? Ico. Okay. I recently tried to play Ico again, and I'm sorry, I just don't care for it. There's something about it that just doesn't do it for me. I don't like the puzzle solving. I don't like the the exploration or just anything about it. Like there are some things I like. I like the enemies. I like the way they come after you. I like the whole protecting a girl thing. That's kind of neat. It's like well executed, but like yeah, I don't know. It's one of those games where I don't think it's polished enough to truly be fantastic. It reminds me a lot of Okami in that respect, but I do prefer Okami over it. I just do not care for Ico. Unfortunate because I love Shadow of the Colossus so much, but oh well. SMT Digital Devil Saga 1 and 2. They put it in the same spot. Like, what are you doing? That's cheating, isn't it? 64 Machi. Not a Nintendo 64 game. Shame on you. 63 Phantasy Star Online 2. Yeah, so both Phantasy Star games got on this list. They must be really, really good. I haven't played any of them. Yeah. My Phantasy Star experience is like the Sega Ages re-release of the original on my Nintendo Switch. So I don't know shit about Phantasy Star. I keep hearing how good it is, though. 62 Demon Souls. What? 61 Valkyria Chronicles. 60 Hatsune Miku Project Diva F6. How much Hatsune Miku can be on this fucking list? She can't be that good of a gaming icon. 59 Final Fantasy V. Probably well deserved. 58 Kirby Superstar. 57 Sonic Adventure 2 Battle. No. Fuck Sonic Adventure 2. Like I am like, I played it a while back. I have it on PS3. I popped it in and not popped it in. I downloaded it. I played it a little bit, experienced it, and I was just so underwhelmed. Like I will definitely I definitely will tell people that like the original is better. There's just so much bullshit in Sonic Adventure 2. I just like, again, at least with Sonic Adventure 1, you could just play through as Sonic and have like a good time. With Adventure 2, you had to do all this bullshit where you switch in between these characters through the campaign. So you can't like ignore all the bad characters. It's just I don't know. That's why I don't know. I need to finish Adventure 2 someday. I'm just, again, I don't think I'm a fan. Again, I have lots of issues with like Adventure 1 as well, but I don't know, definitely doesn't belong on this list. Well, I guess it has that like crazy soundtrack and like the cutting edge visuals and stuff like that, but I don't know. Like the original, I think, was greater in that regard. 56 Monster Hunter Freedom Unite. 55 Dragon Quest IV. Played that one, loved it. I love Dragon Quest IV, amazing game. 54 Kantai Collection. Isn't putting a collection on here kind of whatever? 53 Sakura Wars 2, another game that never is coming out in the West. I really, really want to play Sakura Wars. I'm really, really excited. I would love it, I'm sure. I like this kind of thing. A lot of fun. Huge fan of strategy RPGs. I would love to play that, but it just has not happened, unfortunately. I just have not been able to have the chance to play Sakura Wars. I have not seen a copy of like Sakura Wars 5 on shelves yet. I just it came out for Wii in like 2008, and I just have not found a copy. So I haven't been able to experience it yet, and that's kind of disappointing. I probably should bring it up on my Amazon list and try to find it again. Dragon Quest 8. I liked it, but like I think 4 is better. I think 7 is better. That's just my opinion though. Like 8 to me seemed really, really generic. That's just my opinion. I liked 4 a lot better. I liked 7 a lot better. 8 was just not my thing. Romancing Saga 3. Final Fantasy 6. Yeah, Final Fantasy 6 definitely deserves to be on there. Love me for Final Fantasy 6. Isn't 5 more popular than 6 in Japan? I swear I've heard that before. I'm surprised 5 isn't higher, honestly. Is 6 becoming like more popular as time goes on? It was like the last Nintendo exclusive one after all. No, that's kind of interesting. I wonder how they made these decisions. 49 SMT Nocturne. Lots of SMT games on this list. Final Fantasy 14. Bullshit. Like, man. Okay. Pokemon Red, Blue, Yellow. Kingdom Hearts, fine, fine. Persona 4, fine. Earth Defense Force 4.1, I don't know what that is. Final Fantasy 9, this is getting increasingly good. Sakura Wars 3, I haven't played that one. Nier Replicant, sure. Hatsune Miku Project Diva X. What's with this Hatsune Miku shit? Like, come on. Like, is she really that fucking cute? Like, is she so adorable that you're going to put her on this list like 3 or 4 times? Like, come on. Come on. Final Fantasy 15 on 39. Complete fucking bullshit. Complete fucking crap. That's above Final Fantasy 6 and 9 and 8. Like, what are they thinking? And Tactics. What are they thinking? What are they thinking? Dude, that is just downright pathetic. Downright pathetic. No, complete fucking bullshit. That makes me legitimately angry. Fucking bullshit. Final Fantasy 15 doesn't belong anywhere near a top 100 list. Never mind above Final Fantasy 6, 9, maybe 8. I don't know. And Tactics, I suppose. Like, it does not belong that high on the list. Okay? Full stop. And it's just like, man, are they still trying to sell it to people? Are they still trying to convince people that this game is good? Are they trying to give it like the Final Fantasy 13 treatment where they like talk about it so much that people will like just try to pretend it's good just to look trendy? I don't know. But man, that is complete bullshit. I hate that so much. Okay. Terrible, terrible, terrible. Hatsune Miku Project Diva Arcade Future Tone. Enough with Hatsune Miku. Dragon Quest X. Yeah, the one that never came out here. 10. Hatsune Miku Project Mirror Deluxe. How many Hatsune Miku games are on this? Like 4 or 5, I think we've seen already. Enough with the Hatsune Miku. 35 Moon. What the fuck is Moon? I've never heard that before. 34 Kingdom Hearts 2. Above the original? Really? Really? I don't know. I guess that's just my personal preference. I guess you could say 2 is technically an improvement. I guess it has like flashier boss fights and stuff like that. I guess my problems with it are mostly due to the plot. I guess I can see why people might like it more. I think I did prefer it more back in the day. I'll accept that. Like, I love Kingdom Hearts 2. Well, I liked it back in the day. I am going to replay that one, so I am going to give like a better opinion, eventually. But for now, I'll accept that. Like, I can see it being on the list. Maybe not that high up, but 33 Super Mario Bros. Okay, so Super Mario Bros. Is 33. Okay, so every game higher than this is better than Super Mario Bros. They better be good, okay? KH3 is a mess. I've heard that, but I haven't like really played it yet to really experience it. Like, I wanted to play, finish actually play Birth by Sleep and all these other games before I actually played 3. I'm waiting for the Switch release, so I don't really have an opinion on that yet. I can totally believe that, though. I've heard that Kingdom Hearts has become like a complete convoluted mess at this point, and 3 just sort of like has to tie all this together. That was never going to end well, no matter what. Okay, so Persona 3 is 32. Okay, 31 is Fate/Grand Order, whatever. Tactics Ogre. I really like the 164, so that's kind of nice to see on there. Sonic Adventure 2. Wait, what? Wait, what? They put Sonic Adventure 2 on this list twice? Yeah, they put Sonic Adventure 2 Battle. Wait, where is it? Yeah. Sonic Adventure 2 Battle at 57. And then Sonic Adventure 2 at 29. Like, what? How can you do that? How can you do that? How can you justify that? Like, Adventure 2 Battle is like the expanded deluxe version, right? Like it came out on GameCube, right? I believe. I'm not really sure what the differences in those games are. Like that was Adventure 2 Battle was one of the first GameCube Sega games, right? I believe that's the case. After like the Dreamcast went under, they started porting games to Nintendo, and it was a glorious time to be a Nintendo fan because we had won the console war. Yeah. It's ridiculous. Ridiculous. This is not IGN list bad because I'm not seeing stupid shit like Undertale or Pokemon Go, but yeah, it's still pretty bad. Monster Retsuden Orica Battle. I don't know what that is. 27 Xenogears. Xenogears? Really? The game that isn't even fucking finished? Like, come on. I don't understand. It's so frustrating. I hate that so much. Xenogears has to be one of the most overrated games I've ever seen in my life. Like, I keep seeing it on lists like this, but I guarantee you it's not any good. Like, I guarantee you that like it doesn't live up to the hype. It's just one of those games, right? It just rubs you the wrong way, especially since I'm so familiar with like the history behind it, its problems, the team behind it, and just what they've made since then. So, I played Xenoblade Chronicles. I know these developers are not that great. I don't understand how they keep getting on lists like this. It's just so frustrating. Final Fantasy X. So 10 is the Final Fantasy game that's better than 15. I do agree with that, but like 9 is better than 10. I would say like 6 is better than 10. Like I like 10. I have nothing against 10. I will defend it from like motherfuckers like Spoony, but man, I don't think it's like the best Final Fantasy game. Like not the 26th best game ever made. Like I like this game too. So. Okay, Zelda Ocarina of Time is 25. Okay, so I don't know, like a reasonable spot for it, I guess. We'll have to see just what follows up for it. Dragon Quest V. I really want to play that one. I haven't gotten around to it yet. I wanted to buy the DS port, but I don't know. Like I think I'm just gonna hold out and see if they re-release on Switch, which may very well happen. We're not entirely sure yet, but we'll have to see. Earthbound 23. I was not aware that game had like the same sort of hipster appeal it does over there as it does here, but whatever. Danganronpa 2. Okay. I've heard that's really good. I've heard it has like trials, like it's a crime game. I imagine I would really like Danganronpa, but I just have not played it yet. And I really need to get around to it. I'm sure I would really like it. Final Fantasy 11. 11? Really? At 20? That's one of the online games. Isn't it that high? Really? Why? Above 10? Isn't this around the point where like the game started getting worse? Really? That's so baffling to me. Okay, so okay, we're in the top 20s now. This is gonna get ridiculous. Suikoden 2. I really like the first Suikoden. I'm playing it right now, so I can see Suikoden 2, Suikoden 2, I should say. I can see it being really good. I really like the original. I want to finish it and want to move on to the second. I actually own like the entire series, the first 4, I should say, on my PS3. So I'm really anxious to get around to finishing it. I really like it. Xenoblade Chronicles at 18. Fuck you. I just went on a rant this very live stream about how terrible this game is. And yet you put it on in the top 20 of your list. Higher than Ocarina of Time, higher than Super Mario Bros, higher than Kingdom Hearts. Just fucking bullshit. Fucking bullshit, man. Final Fantasy X is 10 times the game of Xenoblade Chronicles, right? Way better. Just disgusting. Okami. Okay, I don't like Okami. Oh, I don't love Okami. I don't think it's the best game ever. I really don't like it getting on top of 100 lists. Like, especially this high. That's just kind of bizarre to me.
Like it seems to have. It's one of those games that people like will hype up because of its like artistic appeal, because like you're going around like being divine and stuff like that. That's kind of appealing to people, but like the game itself is not that fun to play. So I'm very, very critical of it. Like I'm playing through it right now, by the way. So like I know what I'm talking about. The game is just not all that fun, and I just don't like it being this high on the list.
Definitely one of Clover's worst. Definitely one of Hideki Kamiya's worst. I would say only Devil May Cry is worse than it, I think. Again, there are things I like about Okami, but I don't like it being hyped as like one of the all-time best games. It's just kind of annoying. Okay. Persona 4 Golden at 16. Wait. Didn't they put Persona 4 on here? I think they did. Yeah, they did. 45 Persona 4. Persona 4 Golden is 16. So they put Sonic Adventure 2 on here twice, and they put Persona 4 on here twice. What are they thinking? like that is just unreasonable. Like that's just ridiculous. Like, did they not realize those are the same exact games, just with like some minor variations? Like, come on, pick the definitive version and stick with that. You don't need to stick it on there twice. It's just disrespectful to other games that should have gotten on the list. It's just, I hate that so much. Hate it. So bad. Okay, Otaka de Or. I've never heard of that. Yakuza 0, 14. Hatsune Miku Project Diva Return, another Hatsune Miku game. Shenmue 2, Danganronpa 1-2 Reload. Is that another collection? What is with these fucking collections? What is with these collections? Like, who composed this list? Shenmue. Okay, the original. Okay, so the top 10 shows you how many votes they got, right? Shenmue, the original, 217 votes. Sakura Wars, 223 votes. Chrono Trigger, 231 votes. Danganronpa V3 Killing Harmony, 257 votes. Final Fantasy VII, 287. Zelda Breath of the Wild, 350. Nier Automata, 369. Splatoon, 411. Splatoon is really fucking high. Like, I love Splatoon, but I wouldn't say it deserves to be that high. I really don't think so. I mean, come on. Dragon Quest 3, 612, and Persona 5 is number 1. Yeah. Fucking bullshit. Just this entire list is just what? Yeah, just one of those popularity contests, I think. Man, just ridiculous. Not as good, not as bad as like an IGN list, mind you, but like still pretty bad. Like putting games on there twice, really? Persona 5 being number 1, yeah, that is bullshit. I don't love the lack of Western games though. That's kind of nice. Yeah. That's one of the things I liked about the list. It's not bogged down by like stupid Western games that don't belong to be there. Mass Effect is not on there. BioShock is not on there, and that's kind of nice to see. I really cannot stand those games being like paraded around as if they're like something spectacular, but they really, really aren't. I cannot stand those games. They are the worst. Okay, yeah. Okay, I've caught enough sharks. I'm done. I'm going back into town. Okay. We're gonna cover the Switch library. I promise. We're gonna cover like all of these games eventually. But yeah, that was just a fun little diversion. Man, what a ridiculous list, right? Like I haven't even played Persona 5 yet, and I can tell you it's not like the best game ever made. Just fucking ridiculous. I love how Demon Souls was on there, but Dark Souls was not. That's kind of weird to me. And only like 4 Zelda games, I think. Yeah. It was Majora's Mask, Breath of the Wild, the original, and Ocarina of Time. I don't think I saw Wind Waker on there, surprisingly. I don't know, is Wind Waker as popular there as it is over here? I don't know. Okay. Yeah, Nier Automata. That's another game that really should be coming to Switch sometime soon. Probably sooner than we think. Maybe this year. Yeah, I do expect it to not live up to the hype. Like we're seeing it get on like a top 100 lists. Topping these lists in very recent years because of like uh, the PlayStation's audience being so starved for games. Like once it goes multi-plat, I do expect it to the hype to die down significantly. Um, it's going to be kind of interesting to see when that happens. Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen a good top 100 list. It's just there's always something wrong with it. Like this one had like the multiple entries, like it had like bullshit that didn't belong there. Um, I don't know. Like it could have been a lot better. A lot of people are complaining about like the lack of Western games on there, but personally, I think that's a good thing because of Western games are garbage. Yeah. Fishing for sharks really paid off. I just got like 120 bells for 120,000 bells because of what I just did. That I could probably pay off my house with that. Oh, probably not. Yeah, I could probably like halfway pay it off to get to where I need to be. Oh yeah. I think that's what got me. And like after the update, I think they added some like things that you could do to your house after like the camp update. So like I think I went for the more expensive thing first, and that kind of like threw me off for a while. I don't know. Oops, did I? I was fishing for a while. Like I was fishing the entire time we were streaming, right? I think that might have taken like an hour and a half. Yeah, I haven't fucked around with the camp at all since they released it. I have no idea what that's about. I never bothered learning how it works, so I'm gonna have to get on that. Okay, so out of that, I got like 200,000 bells. That should help pay for whatever it is I need. Yeah, I am so anxious to go back and play Majora's Mask 3D. I've been wanting to play it again for so long, but man, I just have not had time. Well, I've just been playing other things, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. It's gonna be great. I love Majora's Mask. Mm.
All right, I think I'm gonna just pay off this loan and then stop playing Animal Crossing for the day. I guess I could see how much time I put into the game if that's something you would be interested in seeing. Yeah, it's been a while since I checked. Let's see where I'm at. Wait, how much yeah, I paid off most of my loan. Not quite there yet, but next time I'll be able to do it, and it's gonna be great. Can't wait for that. Yeah. What's my most played 3DS game? I wonder. It's been a while since I checked. That's one of my weird complaints with the Switch. You can't check stuff like that. You can't check what your most played game is. Like I don't understand why they don't just do that again. Like I really enjoyed looking at like what I've played the most and like what I turn on the most, like what my longest game is. I just yeah. So we're looking for. Let's see. Yeah, Kid Icarus Uprising, 30 hours. Yeah, I gotta get back into that for sure. Fire Emblem Awakening, 103 hours. I put 100 hours into Awakening? Really? Man. Yet I haven't played it since 2014. It's still my second most played game. Man, I put a lot of time in Awakening, and I'm going to go back and play it again. I'm going to do this all over again. Just man, 103 hours? Really? Man. I loved Awakening, but man, that's great. 103 hours, man. Last played 2014, 5 years. Well, 4. It was in December, but yeah. It's been long overdue for me to return to this game. I have it on my shelf. I'm gonna do it. It's gonna be great. I just need to get through Fates first. Yeah, Sticker Star took me 20 hours. Okay, Animal Crossing New Leaf is 110 hours. So it just barely edges out Fire Emblem Awakening. And considering how much I'm planning on returning to Fire Emblem Awakening, I could see it like eclipsing this. Yeah, I played it 297 times. Well, I have not played Oracle of Ages in a while either. Last time I played it was in 2015. Yeah, Dark Moon. Let's see here. Pokemon X, 36 hours. Yeah, probably my least played Animal Crossing game. Yeah, Dual Ace Attorney, Dual Destinies, 30 hours. Miiverse. Miiverse is my most played 3DS app. I turned it on like 1,500 times. Ridiculous. Professor Layton, the Miracle Mask. Yoshi's New Island, 8 hours. Yeah, I played that shit for 8 hours and I never really touched it. Yeah, I last played it in 2016. I tried playing it again and it was garbage. It's been that long since I played Portrait of Ruin. Yeah, I was playing Portrait of Ruin on here. And it says I last played it in 2014. Wow. Legend of Zelda Spirit Tracks. 2014? What? It was that long ago? I never finished it. I just popped it in. And really? It's been that long? I am going to play that game again. I swear I'm going to finish it. I love me some Spirit Tracks. Super Smash Bros. For Nintendo 3DS is 80 hours. Yep. Mario Kart 7. I haven't played it since 2015. It's been that long? kind of bizarre to think about. But yeah, man. That isn't even a game I'm going to revisit anytime soon. Like New Super Mario Bros. 2 as well. Wow. Codename Steam. Yeah, that's on a list of games I need to replay. Phantom Hourglass. 2015? Really? Well, maybe I played it on the regular DS. That might explain it, the discrepancy here. Because I think I played it on the original DS too. Maybe that's... let's see. Pilotwings Resort. Yeah, I beat Pilotwings Resort in like 3 hours. I did everything in that game. I bought it in 2015, really? Well, yeah, that was... I love Spirit Tracks so much. It's so good. Yeah, Pilotwings really deserved all the flack it got. It really should have been a lot better than what it was. Triforce Heroes. Yeah, I knew that. I knew I last played that in 2015. Is that game still active? I would love to, play Triforce Heroes again. Definitely. We should definitely get a group together and, do that if, anybody's interested. Because I love me some Triforce Heroes. Paper Jam, yeah. Paper Jam is great. Project X 2. 45 hours. 45 hours too long. That game is like the epitome of like playing the game for the story. It's so bad, it's so repetitive, and yet it's so ridiculously cool that you can't stop playing it. It's so good. Let's see. I already showed you my Dragon Quest 7 took me 70 hours to beat, and there's still plenty of stuff to do. There's so many games I put to my Spirit of Justice, Ace Attorney took me like 45 hours. I'm not sure how that took me so long. It did feel like a stupidly long Ace Attorney game. Yeah, Pokemon Sun. I need to return to that shit. Yeah. So yeah, that's Animal Crossing, 100 hours. One of my most played 3DS games, and I still don't have everything in it. I'm working on it, but it's going to be a while. I'm enjoying it. I'll finish it, and then I'll go back to Fates. I'll go back to what I was doing. I didn't say that Sun and Moon were bad. I prefer them to X and Y. Thank you very much. I was surprised that I didn't play Sun and Moon more. If anything, I kind of want to go back and play it again because I never did any of the post game shit. I really like Sun and Moon, so yeah. I was going through some shit when those games came out, so I didn't play them nearly as much as I wanted to. But yeah, I definitely have them on my shelf, and I'm definitely going to get through them eventually. Does the Nintendo Switch allow me to look at my records to see what my most played games are yet? That is absolutely something they need to fucking fix. Yeah, you can't tell. That's annoying. It'll tell me that I played let's see, just gave a 5 for 40 hours or more, but then it doesn't give me an exact number for everything else. So it's just I hate it. Okay. So yeah, my recent Nintendo Switch games. I was going to show them off on stream. That was the entire point, and I just thought I would go ahead and do that now before I sign off and do other stuff tonight. There's just
a lot. There is a lot of stuff to talk about here. Just a look at all of these games. Let's see. The glare is kind of getting me. I'm not really sure how the best way to hold this would be. There we go. So yeah, Nintendo Switch has no games. So yeah, lots of great shit. I'm playing a lot of it. I'm enjoying a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff to talk about, a lot of stuff to cover. But I just wanted to quickly go over all the stuff I've been playing in the very, very recent past. Right, the stuff I played in the past week or so. I have plenty of stuff that I have that I haven't really beaten yet. But like again, I'm just overwhelmed by the sheer volume of things and the sheer inability of me to find the time to get them all done and like play all this shit and really experience it all. So yeah, let's talk a little bit about everything I have on my Nintendo Switch. Like, for instance, Pokemon Let's Go Eevee, a game that I've already made videos about, talking about, like hyping up, promoting, sharing with people. This is a game that I think absolutely deserves to be talked about. It is a very, very well made entry level Pokemon game, something that will appeal to people who are maybe more familiar with Pokemon through Pokemon Go or too young to play the mainline games. This is something that I think has an audience and really appeals to that audience very, very well. It is an extremely chill game to play and does a great job of really introducing you to the general concepts of Pokemon, like how types work and the general idea of what a Pokemon is and how battles are supposed to work. That to me is very, very interesting. Very, very. They did a great job of really trying to appeal to a more casual, not as invested audience for this one. That is something that I really, really respect, wholeheartedly support, and want to see more of. I think they can continue the Let's Go line in between the mainline games. They could continue remaking these older games, like introducing, casual fans to like other regions and other Pokemon games while continuing to expand the world of Sword and Shield. We're going to have to see just what happens going forward, but I do think this isn't going to be. We will someday see more variation on like the Pokemon formula going forward. We're going to have to see just what happens, but yeah. My opinion on Let's Go Eevee, not bad at all. I'm really enjoying it. I want to play it more. I would if I wasn't so busy, but anyway, Dead Cells. I have not played a lot of this one. It just came in the mail last night, so I just popped it in this morning and played a little bit of it, and it's fine. I don't really see why so many people like hyped it up just yet. I personally don't think I'm gonna care for it too much, but like I don't think it's bad or anything. I just don't like these kind of roguelike games for whatever reason. There's something about it that's just kind of off-putting to me. Like I don't like how you're in a prison, but like the tone is really like that quirky kind of I don't know. I don't really care for it. We'll have to see what I think of it as I play it more, but at the moment, I think it's one of those games that I'm just kind of like, is it good? Is it bad? I'm not sure yet. Like I'm going to say here right now that I do think that like a Hollow Knight is better. I think The Messenger is better. I think there were better indie games that were released last year. I don't think this one was anything. I don't think this one is anything particularly special from my experiences with it, but that's just my opinion. Maybe I'll warm up to it as I continue playing. We'll just have to see. Crypt of the Necrodancer. This is, of course, the game that was announced to have a Zelda-themed sequel. It is getting a crossover with The Legend of Zelda that's set in Hyrule and like has the same sort of general gameplay in which you bounce around and collect things to improve your characters and like conquer dungeons. And yeah, it doesn't look like much. It really, really doesn't. And in some ways, it is kind of basic and kind of kind of has those same problems that Dead Cell does, I think. But I find myself really, really enjoying it because like it's so different from everything I've ever played before. Like it feels like it has its own sort of like a concept and like a gameplay, and it feels fresh enough where I'm interested in learning how to play it and trying to at least get to the end and unlock everything and see what else this game has to offer, because it's something it has, despite my initial impression of it, has sort of won me over. So we're gonna have to see just what happens there, what happens with that game. Cadence of Hyrule is coming out in summer, I think. So we're gonna have to see how that pans out. As we all know, NES Online is the best thing ever. You get to play NES games for free on your Nintendo Switch. Let's see, can I show up? Yep. Look at this vast lineup of games, right? Several of them. Recently, I've been trying to finish Zelda 2, and I want to move on to and Super Mario Bros. 2, and I want to move on to Star Tropics. There's a lot of stuff to talk about. Lots of great games here. Lots of great games. Lots of great memorable games. Lots of great games that like people may not have tried when they were younger. So maybe this will be a great entry point for like younger fans who maybe never really got the chance to play these games. Really, really like a good portion of them. Not all of them, but a lot of them are all-time classics and should be played by anyone who's a fan of Nintendo. Absolutely love it. Dragon Marked for Death. Again, I already talked about this one. An Inti Creates game from, with the involvement of like the Mega Man Zero team, like much like Mighty Gunvolt, Azure Striker Gunvolt, you are going around fighting things, killing things, getting through these stages, and it is so much fun. It really is. It's so basic in a lot of ways, but it has so much personality and charm, and like the gameplay is so solid and so much fun. Like it's just impossible to not love it. I love this game. Like it's unpolished in quite a few ways. Like again, it really, really does feel like a Game Boy Advance game in a lot of ways, but that's not really a bad thing. I love Game Boy Advance era games, and this does a great job of like really taking what made that era of gaming fun while still giving it like its own sort of like unique, intense personality, and I really appreciate it for that. It's really, really good. Love it, love it, love it. Final Fantasy IX. I talked about this one on this very stream. Probably I'm told this is the best Final Fantasy among fans, a fan favorite. Even the creator like considers it his best. I personally am not sure yet. Like I really love 6, I really love 7, I really love 5. 4 is okay. 4 is not my favorite. I think 5 has the potential to be my favorite, but I'm not really sure just yet. Like I'm still very early in. I'm still like doing all this stuff. I'm still trying to like get a feel for this game and like how things are going to proceed from here. Like I do think I really, really love this game. It's just a matter of like how much I love it. Do I consider this my all-time favorite Final Fantasy? I don't know yet. We're going to have to like get through this game together and figure out just how I feel about that. Just figure out how exactly the Final Fantasy power ranking works. Okay, we're gonna have to see how this game holds up compared to the competition, because believe me, it has some pretty stiff competition. Okami HD. Now, I talked about this one too because I bitched about it in the Famitsu poll. Like, I am on the moon cave. I am like preparing the dish for Orochi. I am going around looking for ingredients, and I am reminded very strongly of why I did not care for this game back when it first came out for the Wii, because I felt the dungeon designs, general combat, puzzle solving, and just all around general gameplay to be not quite up to my standards compared to Zelda, compared to other action adventure games, compared to like other games like it. I found Okami to be kind of boring. Like Okami was at its best when you were going around performing miracles in scripted events. You know, that's really neat. But other than that, like the gameplay is just not all that fun. It's not all that memorable. I don't care for it at all. Like the characters are great. I love their designs. I love their personalities. I love the idea of playing as this divine god, this divine wolf that can heal nature. Like that, all of that is awesome. But it's just not quite everything. It just does not quite come together as well as it should. Like it should have had better combat. It should have had better boss fights. It should have had like better brush powers. Like there is a certain point where you basically feel as if you've gotten all the interesting brush powers and you're basically just getting like the really generic shit at the end, where like basically you get like you get fire, now you get water, now you get lightning. It's just, come on, why could they not just be the same power? Just upgrade that one power. You don't need like, I don't know. It felt like they were running out of ideas near the end, and they only chose like having 13 powers for like some symbolism purposes. I don't know. I don't know, man. They could have done a lot more with that. Unruly Heroes, some THQ. I don't think it's THQ. Some game where you go around fighting people. I don't know what I think. I've only played it for a couple of minutes. I don't really care for it. How about Ace Attorney Trilogy? Yeah, World of Final Fantasy I talked about. Turok I've copped. Yeah, those are all the games I've been playing lately. Broken Age. I played that a little bit. Really like that, surprisingly. Yeah, that's all I've been playing lately. Yeah. So that's it. Oh yeah, Yoshi's Crafted World 2, but I already talked about that at length. So yeah, those are the games I've been playing lately. Again, that's like 5 or 6, 7 really good games right there that I'm really enjoying and having trouble. Having trouble finishing, so to speak. Like again, you can't really say that the Switch has no games because man, I'm swamped with releases. Like there are so many games on that list that I haven't even really touched yet. Like Final Fantasy VII, I haven't turned on yet. Like I haven't really played Aniken like I wanted to. Like again, there is a lot of good stuff there. A lot of good stuff. Man, I've been going for like 2.5 hours almost. 2 hours and 17 minutes. It's amazing how much time flies. Yeah, I think that's going to be it for this session. I covered everything I wanted to cover, gaming wise. Maybe I'll I don't know. I don't think I'll be streaming again for a while. But anyway, yeah. I'll take some questions for a bit, and then I'll sign off. All right, I think that's it. I think I'm done for the night. My throat's kind of hurting. I don't think I could continue even if I wanted to. We're gonna have to continue this some other time. Talk about what Nintendo's doing. Maybe talk about like some other consoles. Talk about some other games. That'll be fun. I'm sure I'll play Animal Crossing again. Put another 100 hours into it by the time we're done here. So yeah, a lot of fun. Lots of good times with Nintendo Switch at the moment. Really enjoying it. And I'll be seeing you guys next time. Thank you so much for tuning in.